5-2, and I'll turn off the stream.
So have you turned any on?
Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
At what time?
Hey guys, what's happening?
At what time?
6:55.
55?
You talk to it for now. You're live, remember you've got
What are we live on? What are we coming through on? Hey guys, hope you're getting the live stream. We're coming from London, from a bus, the London bus. Let us just get the streams up and running on the different platforms, and then we will, Avi will be ready to start having a chat. You got a really nice close-up of Avi's face there.
Hold on, let me get it going. Take a minute, guys, to also share the stream if you're tuning in right now. All right, I think I've got... Yeah, I think I've got it everywhere. Yep. All right, guys. Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to just retweet it from other platforms. Take a minute to do it yourself. We're on a bus, and now that we can live stream from anywhere, we're going to live stream from anywhere because we can.
Yeah. I think the comments are coming through as well now, so that's pretty good.
Yeah,
let us know, guys, about the audio. Of course, we always check the audio is running good.
We did buy new audios, new mics today because of the stuff up yesterday. We learn from our mistakes.
We learn as we go.
And it wasn't cheap. It definitely wasn't cheap. So help us out at ukrebels.com. Help us cover the costs for all this stuff. I'm just going around now and sharing our stream.
Yeah, I'm just going to check the comments are coming through.
Make sure, guys. I'm just going to
perfect audio.
Perfect. It's
We've
nice
got
audio.
Perfect audio, nice audio coming through, guys. That's what we like. Finally, the Indian tech support has pulled through. So it's all working as.
How you all doing, guys? It's a pretty crazy day, and we've got a lot to talk about today.
So time-wise, it's about what, 5:30 here in London. 5:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
In a bit of rain.
I don't know what time it is, and I can see my YouTube's got much smaller numbers than normal because it's a
because if
crazy
you're watching
time.
Australian time, I think it's about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Yeah. Jump through.
You come here, Ezra. So we're live already, just so you know, but we're just sharing the live around. Guys, you can do the same. I'm going to chuck a mic on the Rebel Commander, Ezra.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
1 second, we'll put that. I can put that. Wait, aren't you hot? Mm-hmm. Do you want to take your jumper off, or you're no, you're good. All right, we'll go like that, and I can actually go. Do you reckon like that? Yeah, that's
fine. I'm doing good, Ezra.
Good.
Everyone, you get to see the behind the scenes as it happens.
All right, I'm just going to share the stream. You guys do the same because obviously it's weird times in Australia at the moment. So it's up to you guys to help us get this.
And is it on your Twitter? Can I find it there?
Yeah, it's on my Twitter. We've reposted it on different
on my
Twitters.
Twitter
You
too.
can do the same, yeah. We didn't put it on the main Rebel stream because they have a live stream in about half an hour, so we didn't want it. But tomorrow we're going to be streaming the vigil for Charlie Kirk here in London.
Oh, great!
And we're going to do that in place of the normal Rebel News.
Oh, wow,
daily
that's
show.
Perfect.
So it's going to be that's going to be a different style live stream using different cameras than we're using now, but it's everything's designed, and I think people are saying the audio is a lot better than yesterday because we fixed that today. It's a work in progress, Ezra. Look, you can already start telling people. I think talk to the audience and tell them what we're actually doing in London, and then we'll delve in a bit of the current news. And there's one story that's really dominating. But what are we doing in London while I share this?
Sure. Well, we knew that Tommy Robinson was planning a big freedom of speech rally on Saturday, and he had invited you and I to speak there. And they're always interesting. They make news, and given the political climate in the UK, I sort of felt in my bones it was going to set records for attendance. In the past, it's been in tens of thousands. Wouldn't surprise me if this cracks 100,000 or more. And I thought, I enjoy coming to these rallies, and I meet other activists or journalists along the way. Why don't we make a small sort of conference and invite people to come with us to the rally, but then come a day or two early to meet journalists, activists, politicians, to hear from professors, to hear from think tankers. And so we did. We put together, we called it the Free Speech Mission. It started last night. We had speakers this morning. Now we're on our way to have a private dinner with Tommy himself, which is sort of exciting because he's so busy And over the next few days, we have other meetings planned. And it's just sort of for rebel news enthusiasts who want to meet newsmakers. So that's what we're doing right now. It was raining, that's why I'm a bit soaked. And we're on our way to dinner with Tommy. And for a lot of people on the bus, they've only seen Tommy on TV or maybe from afar at a rally. So I have a chance to sort of buttonhole him, talk to him one-on-one. It's pretty exciting for a lot of Tommy fans. And for me too, I love the guy.
Amazing. Avi, I think we've got to turn Ezra's mic around to show the...
Is he not getting good?
No, the mic's pointing in towards the thing.
Okay, let me fix that.
I'll talk to the camera.
So where do you want me to...
Because it wasn't positioned, so yeah, that's better. Just make sure it's positioned upwards, that's it.
That's upwards there.
Guys, we're reading your comments and we are fixing the tech issues on the go to make sure everything comes through nice and clear. But I'll switch back over to you, Avi, in a second.
Okay, I think that's good. I think that should be alright. I can put
Perfect. It's between my massive pecs.
know
I don't
what?
want to crush it. I don't want to flex and crush it.
I'm gonna
between
get
my
him-
pecs.
I'll get him the,
Or as everyone else calls them, my breasts.
I'll get him a magnet. It's going to
Get
be
a magnet,
easier
it's
with
better.
him. Yeah.
We'll put the magnet on, guys.
Guys, just while we're doing final setup, make sure to smash that like button, share it, help the algorithm. Let's grow this community. We've got a really good live community going in Australia at the moment, in the last couple of months. But I know it's a weird time, so make sure to hit that notification bell so you hear our lives at whatever random time we jump on. Now I'm going to touch Ezra possibly slightly inappropriately, but he seems to like it.
I feel really good. I feel really relaxed.
There we go, that's fixed it. Let me put this away. Okay. Also, guys, you can obviously super chat away. We'll go through the super chats at the end. Now, I'm mistaken. We are actually running this also on the main Rebel News YouTube channel for now, but at about 6 o'clock, so in about 20 minutes, we're going to shut just the Rebel News main channel live off, and you'll have to watch it either on my channel or on on Abia Mini, because they've got the daily show. But you can stay on Rebel News and watch the daily show if you want. Let's get straight into the heavy story that the whole world's talking about. We've all seen that horrific. It's hard to. The first moments that I saw that close up, I didn't even. I was questioning whether it was real. It was so. It's probably the only, it's the most graphic assassination video in history, I would say, captured kind of almost live and spread around the world. What was, firstly, I guess, your reaction? What are you 24 hours later, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? What's going on?
The first thing was, it reminded me of the assassination attempt against Donald Trump. Trump survived that by an inch. Unfortunately, Charlie Kirk did not. So I thought, I was felt with rage and grief and disbelief and a sense of the deep unfairness of assassination. I was shocked by it. The second thing I think I felt was, it looks like it was a professional hit.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't look like some disgruntled person, a crime of opportunity, or even some guy taking his, rifle that had been like, this felt so like a hit, like an assassin. And that's deeply troubling. Obviously, a young dad, 2 kids, and a wife, so outrageous and sad. Designed for what? Well, we don't know who is behind it yet. At least I haven't seen any news. They're obviously trying to stop Charlie Kirk himself from doing the work he was doing. He was extremely effective at reaching out to young people. He was a debater and a conversationer. He was actually someone who really reached out to the other side. So they wanted to stop that for some reason. They wanted to demoralize us as his supporters, and they wanted to scare us. So I think the proper response, we can't bring Charlie back, but maybe we all do some of the work he was doing to fill the void. Don't be demoralized. Transform that emotion into being constructive and motivated. And it's hard not to be scared. You can just say, don't be scared. Telling someone who's scared not to be scared doesn't usually help. But I think if we all show a little bit more courage, they can't take all of us. And so I I wasn't particularly close to him. I'd talked to him 3 or 4 times, but it did feel a little bit personal. And I'll just say, in his memory, we will continue to redouble our efforts. What did he stand for? Freedom, democracy, young people getting involved. He was for America. He was America first. He was a friend to the Jews, by the way, and to Israel. I think he was a great American. Frankly, I think he would have gone on to high office had he lived. But I'm not going to allow the bad guys to win. I'm not going to live in fear. I'm not going to be demoralized. There was only one Charlie Kirk, and you can't replace him. But maybe 1,000 people together can fill the void.
Yeah, look, when I first saw the footage, I think like most people, it took a while to process the shocking image of it. What about you, Rukshan?
I mean, it's. I think a lot of people, like everyone else, were shocked, right? Just seeing that come through. It's kind of in a bit of disbelief because you realize just how fragile life is at that moment. Because Charlie Kirk is someone that we watch all the time. We watch him, whether it's at CPAC or any turning point of events that he does. He's always up there at the front, side by side with Trump as well during the last election. He was very effective and played a massive role in that last election. So to see that person now, that graphic footage first, which was obviously shocking, just because, when you first opened X, that was the video that was going out, right?
It's ingrained in my head forever.
Yeah.
That image of, when it hit and his body and the blood, like I'm never I can never get that image out of my brain, and it's like it's shaking me. Like I don't know about you, and maybe you, Alexa, as well. I've received heaps of messages today from people like, dude, are you like, be safe. These people, it's not only their rhetoric in which they say they want you dead. We've been used to that for years, but they are willing to actually carry it out. And I've got an inbox full of, people that are not necessarily very political, but know me personally, and they're just like, even my whole family WhatsApp is going, they call me Bob-omb now, like, Bob-omb, be safe. And so people recognize this as an attack on conservative and you're talking about moderate conservative voices.
You're right. I've had a lot of family and friends say exactly the same thing. Part of me says you cannot defend against a professional assassination like this. Not even President Trump could stop a shot against him. But the people who would come after you and I would probably be more opportunistic. They would be lower level. It could be a pro-Hamas thug who says, I'm going to take out that Avi, I'm going to take out Ezra, I'm going to take out Alexa, because we do citizen journalism. So, and it is dangerous out there. And one of the things that President Trump alluded to the other day was the culture of it's okay to kill now, like that Luigi Mangione, if I got the right name, who allegedly murdered an executive on the street, and has been turned into a hero. And communism is making a comeback, violence is making a comeback, terrorism is making a comeback, and political assassinations. And it's not exclusively the right that's being targeted, but remember, Jair Bolsonaro, he was stabbed with a knife just days before his first election. There has been 6 Alternative for Deutschland politicians in Germany who have died under suspicion deaths in recent months. I'm not saying those were all assassinations. I don't know if any of them were, but it's certainly suspicious. In other countries, they try and kill builders. We're here to celebrate Tommy Robinson. He has had 12 threats to his life, so serious, 12, that the police personally visited his home to give him what's called an Osmond warning, a written warning that his life was in danger. So this isn't rumor stuff. It's not a tweet. This is the police intelligence unit saying, Tommy, here's the threat to your life. So it is Antifa by nature is violent. Trans extremists, transgender extremists. You see more and more politically motivated murders by them. I'm not blaming solely the left. but it seems to be dominated by the left. The left, if they can't win a debate, they kill you. That's what's happening. Not all the left. Charlie Kirk was about debating. Someone didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, but Rukshan, actually, you were reading some of the messages last night
Yep.
off your own, on your post, I think.
Yep.
Like, just so people understand what the reaction, because the reaction has been shocking on a few levels, and we'll get to a couple of those, but your initial reactions that you noticed on those comments that were kind of like joltering, I guess, when you said them to me because of what just happened.
Yeah, like people were, obviously, like there's a lot of people that watch our work and follow our work who hate watch, if that's the term, like troll. But it turns to the fact where they're saying, you know, watch out, you're next. Like if you keep doing this type of work, we're going to do this to you as well. And it's very real. Like a lot of people are emboldened by seeing what happened to Charlie Kirk.
And on a normal day, I brush that off.
Yeah,
on a normal day, I will brush
we
it
get
off.
that
I get
all
that
the time. I mean, you get it that much more than me, but we get that a lot. And like you said, we brush it off. But seeing what happened, and to know that Charlie Kirk is someone with courage that went to those campuses. Yes, he had security and he was aware of the threats around him, but he was willing to engage in that kind of space in that way without making it something that was not. It was approachable for everyone. So it's like that innocence has been lost of that kind of debate space where I think for a few years from today, people will be reluctant to appear in spaces like that, especially discussing controversial issues.
Well,
so
at least they're going to take precautions. People are going to have to do it. I think people are going to take their security much more seriously. I know I've taken it for years seriously because I felt it's real, but I've got to say, when reading some of those, or when Rukshan was reading me those comments last night, it landed differently because it felt so much more. Alexa, sorry, we haven't got to you yet, but I know last night when it was unfolding, last night here in London, you were quite emotional about it. What was your reaction? How did you feel? How are you feeling now about it?
It's strange because Charlie Kirk, I discovered him because he was talking to the youth on campuses. And it kind of really appealed me to listen to him and to see how much he was basing everything on facts, and just also reminding to the crowd to be respectful with people who had different opinions and to let them talk. And something that he's always saying is like when you stop talking, that the violence appears. And now we actually remove an essential voice, especially for the youth. So how we gonna bring a balance into campuses? Because we know that on those campuses, the youth is getting radicalized. And that is without talking about the reaction online of people filming themselves celebrating someone who got shot, who actually will never see their true child growing up.
Yeah, and that's true. The reaction, the vitriol that we've seen, from TikTok and leftists literally marching, celebrating. You've seen little rallies. I don't know what we're going to see here in London, but to me, that is almost as shocking as the initial crime.
Some of it is just general bad manners and bad behavior. I mean, we don't know who it is on TikTok or Twitter. These could be teenagers just having a lark in bad taste. But there is no doubt that some of the people saying the most reprehensible things are grown-ups who are saying it from a place of malice and who truly do approve. Like I said, there's a new ideology that's so totalitarian that you deserve to die no matter what. It's the Marxist way of looking at the world that everyone is an oppressor or the oppressed, and it's black and white. So Charlie Kirk, even though he has many fine qualities and does many generous things, if he's for Trump, he's an oppressor and anything for the revolution. You can do anything to him because he's an oppressor. We see that in the ideology that supports Hamas. Oh, you can kill any Jew, you can rape any Jew. October 7th was justified because they're oppressors and we're oppressed. So there are people who don't know any better, but there are plenty of people who should know better. I saw a professor from the University of Toronto rejoicing in this. I mean, that's outrageous. I don't want people to lose their livelihoods over this, but they should be named and shamed at least so people know how odious they are. I don't know, it's the glee from too many people about this murder is tough to take.
Do you think the same way than me that the society have kind of dehumanizing a group like some people? If you think differently, if you're more conservative, you're not really a human. We don't really care of you. And whatever that happened to you, I don't really care. And it's what we saw with Charlie Kirk, that now people didn't see him as a human being, a father, as someone who just there to disagree with the dominant voice that we are seeing on campuses, or like, and bring a discussion. But for what he did, it was not a human being.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what it takes. I think you have to dehumanize somebody to be able to rejoice at their murder, and you know that is the most graphic murder you can witness, and we witness that as well. Another reaction that I woke up to this morning, to be honest, Ezra, like I joked last night saying, you know, I wonder. Check Candace Owens. I want to see if she's blamed the Jews yet. I joked saying that to Rukshan, right? I woke up in the morning and half the internet, all the same people who have been criticizing, condemning Charlie Kirk for the last 2 years for his unwavering support for Israel's right to exist, Israel's right to defend itself. Yes, and at times even being critical at the same time, because it's possible to be critical of Israel, yet still be a great friend. That's the thing. He was someone that proved it. I wake up this morning, those same people finding a way somehow to claim that for some reason Israel wiped out its, you know, one of its most important allies in the West.
Yeah.
Like from a you know, an influencer or a social media or a commentator, a conservative voice, probably the biggest, most important ally Israel has. They've somehow found a way to claim that Israel wiped him out.
Those are Charlie Kirk truthers. Truthers who say, oh, the Jews did it, Israel did it, even though, as you point out, he was an ally of Israel. That's just as gross. It's super gross to rejoice in his death. In some ways, it's even grosser to falsely attribute his death through some complex conspiracy theory to the Jews or to Israel.
Especially when he spent so much of his time and effort actually fighting their nonsense, their lies, their conspiracies.
I suppose that's their final indignity to him, their final attack on him. Oh, I care so much about Charlie Kirk. If only the Jews didn't kill him. Like that's their final defacement and defilement of him. At least if you just say, I hate him, I'm glad he's dead. You're evil, but you're honest. But to start, I'm going to call it trutherism, to come up with a weird hoax like that, it's just as gross. And they should be held. Did Candace actually say that?
No, Candace wasn't. I'm saying that was like Candace. Right. Candace, I feel like Candace couldn't cross that line because she's also she was a friend. Not yet.
She's kind of tiptoeing around.
Like, I haven't seen. I saw the first things where she was saying what she's saying.
No, I'm saying she's being very careful.
But her good friends, like the person that took over her show, that Ian Carroll, he's straight up saying it was the Mossad, and the whole internet knows it was the Mossad, and the Jews took out the one person that suddenly became critical of Israel, and which is just that in itself was not true. He throughout has pointed at things that he thinks Israel's doing wrong, and things that I think he's right in a lot of, like, I don't necessarily agree 100% with all his criticism, but he has been right on some of his criticisms on Israel, and that's fine. Like, there are people in Israel that are critical of Israel. That's not the problem. But to then take that and what people are reminding Ian Carroll, who is Candace Owens, he took over Candace Owens' show while she was on maternity leave. Only 3 days ago, he literally hate tweeted at Candace Owens, at Charlie Kirk about his defense, about his ongoing defense of Israel, which means he doesn't even believe that. 3 days ago, he didn't believe that Charlie Kirk was being critical of Israel, because 3 days ago he attacked him for his support of Israel. So his own conspiracy theory doesn't make sense, and a lot of people are pointing it out, but his conspiracy is popular because online, just hating on Israel, even when it makes zero sense, has become the new, it's the woke right, it's the woke thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to dignify that wacko theory by spending any more time on it. In fact, it's an indignity to Charlie Kirk what that Ian Carroll, and he's so gross. But you know, we're in London for this free speech conference. Tomorrow there's going to be this vigil. It'll be interesting because Charlie Kirk cared about America, and his phrase "America First" really, he lived that. But he had interests in the world. He traveled around the world. He came to the United Kingdom. He was worried about the country. He was worried about it losing its freedom of speech. He was worried about the Islamification, about the public square. And he took an interest in Tommy Robinson. And he really left a footprint here in the UK, and I think he cared. And so it'll be interesting to see who shows up in London for the vigil. And I have to say, it was touching to see how many world leaders referred to him. And now it's because of the shocking way he was murdered in part, but to have that many leaders around the world, Bolsonaro I mentioned earlier,
Bibi straight away, that was part of the conspiracy.
Maloney, even Canada's Mark Carney surprised me. Keir Starmer, even him, even though he immediately said we believe in free speech, which everyone knows is false.
Of that,
But it was actually quite something how I'd say a dozen world leaders paid their respects to him online, which shows how much of an impact he made in his life. It's just so heartbreaking that his life was ended at 31. The amount he accomplished by that relatively young age is incredible. He really was the hardest working guy in politics, and he was doing it for all the right reasons. It is such a shame, as Yeats said, the best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. The people who hate Charlie Kirk are braying and laughing and loving it. And Charlie Kirk was the best, and he had passionate intensity, and he's gone, and it'll be very hard to replace him. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sad. I'm not being mawkish. I just he really was a good man in addition to being a great man.
I'm just going to, guys, we're going to continue this stream. I just got to find the actual thing on Restream. I've lost that page, but just so you know, we're going to be streaming here in London across all platforms in place of the regular Rebel show tomorrow, the vigil for Charlie. Guys, if you want to support our raw journalism, and tomorrow that's going to be very much that. Today as well, we're going to stream our bus ride to dinner all the way, and we're going to talk to you. We've got a speaker speaking soon as well. So, but we're about to shut down the Rebel News YouTube live stream. So if you want to continue watching it, jump over to my page, Avi Yamini, or stay on the Rebel News page, and there's the daily live stream that they're going to be doing from in studio in Canada. But we're gonna close that. And if you want to support our work here, it's ukrebels.com. The flights, the accommodation, the food, the expenses of just getting around, the taxis, the even just the mics that we had to get to help us with the streaming, it costs a lot of money. So need your help, ukrebels.com. Really appreciate people who are chipping in to, especially me and Rukshan. We've got this long journey coming over the next couple of weeks with a lot of streaming, so be a part of it. And please, if you can, if you're willing and able, you've got the ability to chip in to help us, can you just get me on, what is it? Just get on, close. We just got to close that Rebel one because I jumped over to the analytics instead. We'll get Rukshan to do the technical. that's why we have somebody of Rukshan's caliber and nationality.
Look, a lot of my cousins are here in the UK.
A lot of his cousins. In fact, today when we
help.
went to get the mics, because we had the technical issues yesterday with mics, and people are telling us the sound is really crisp today, so I'm happy, and we've got 4 mics. That's exciting. But the person that served us today just happened to be a distant relative of Rukshan. It just seems to flow in their blood.
I run this town.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Rebel News, turn that one off.
Just the Rebel News YouTube, yeah? Just turn that one off.
Yeah.